Hello and welcome back for another new episode of Let's Talk. We are coming towards the end of the winter sports season, but still have plenty of great stories to tell. Thanks for joining me. As always, I'm your host, Chad Landers. Really excited about the guests I have for you today, but as always, we need to spend some time talking, and here is what's on my mind. Now, it's been a great winter sports season, and we are into the postseason, which means plenty of basketball, swimming, and wrestling action. And it's already been a very good postseason for our local wrestlers, 7 of them bringing home gold at the LL League Championships in January, and now they turn all their attention to the District 3 tournament. Last year, Will Betancourt from Manheim Central was our lone district champ, but we anticipate even more this year, including Betancourt, of course, who is a really good shot at repeating as champ. Now, we could possibly see anywhere from 2 to 5 and maybe even more District 3 wrestling champions. All the action starts February 22nd in Hershey at the Giant Center, which has become the perfect place to hold this event. We will have coverage all 3 days, including Championship Saturday. And really quickly, before I go, while we're talking wrestling, I hope you all got to see or at least watch some highlights from the Penn State-Ohio State wrestling match on February 3rd in State College. It was a fantastic showdown between the best 2 teams in the country, and the Nittany Lions squeaked out a 1-point win to stay unbeaten and, more importantly, continue their incredible undefeated streak that's now in the 40s. And the way they've dominated college wrestling over the years has been so impressive, and it doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon. Of course, remember, Warwick grad Devin Schnupp wrestles for Penn State, so we look forward to more great news from him as the years go on. And that's enough blabbing out of me. Let's get to our show. Our first guests today are actually from the basketball court, and they have a pretty good season going here despite some drama-filled moments to start the season. I'm talking about the Ephrata Boys basketball team, and coming up on Let's Talk, we chat with head coach Jonathan Treese and one of their stud seniors, Brad DiBella. Don't miss our conversation coming up after the break. All right, welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm here at the Ephrata Middle School, joining the Mounts basketball team as they're getting ready for the playoffs, joined by head coach Jonathan Treese and senior star here, Brad DiBella. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. Looking forward to our conversation.
Absolutely.
Let's start with you, Coach. First year here coaching the Mounts, and kind of got a late start, changeover in coaches, September I believe, so that's a little bit later than you would like, but you guys are certainly on track now. Can you kind of evaluate how the season has gone for this Ephrata program?
Yeah, we were able to hit the ground running in September because the assistants on staff have done a really nice job of keeping the kids working and all that. And I would say early in the season we kind of had the growing pains of me getting used to them, even more so than them getting used to me.
Yeah.
But they're very coachable kids, real receptive. So I would say from the middle of the year on, we've been building in the right direction. We've been improving things defensively. We've been getting individuals even better at what their roles are and understanding those roles, and we've kind of found our comfort zone of what we want to do offensive and defensively. So I really feel like we're playing our best basketball at the right time.
Okay, well that's one of the questions I wanted to ask you. And Brad, for you, you're a senior. You've got a nice group of guys here that are seniors, and the starting 5 in general had some big expectations that we were here in the preseason. We talked to you guys. One of those was chasing after that section title. Didn't quite get there this year. How would you say the season went for you guys, and kind of how are you as a team feeling now that you're getting ready to head into the playoffs? How do you guys feel?
We feel good, you know. I feel like as the season went on, we got better and better. We took one step forward every night, and that's all Coach asked us to do, is take one step forward. So we didn't get the section, but at least we got better every night.
Yeah, and you had that LS win right at the end of the season. How were you guys able to pull that one off? Because they were a really good team, and almost nobody could beat them this year.
I don't know. Coach just had a good game plan for us, and we stuck to it, and we played together, and we were just focused, and it was a good game.
Yeah, won by 1 point, which is a good win for you guys, I would say. You guys head into the playoffs now, and you're in leagues and you're in districts, and for the second straight year you're in districts, so that's got to be a good feeling. But what I want to know is, you know, where's the confidence level? I mean, do you guys feel like you really are playing best basketball right now? You know, tell us about kind of the mindset of the team as you head into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, the confidence level is definitely there. You know, we definitely ended this season on a good run, so the confidence level is there, and you know, we're still just trying to get better, because we can always get better. So.
Okay, and you guys have the league tournament coming up here. Cedar Crest is up first, and then there's some other teams in there. I mean, it just feels loaded this year. Lancaster Catholic seems like a team that could really make a run. Lampeter Strasburg, obviously, Hempfield. You know, how do you guys feel about your chances in the playoffs, in the leagues first, and then we'll hit districts after that?
You know, in the leagues, there's a ton of depth. It's a lot of really good coaches, a lot of coaches that have been there a number of times. So teams are gonna be ready to play. And something along with that depth is, you know, we're talented too. We have a lot of the pieces you need for that postseason type run. So I really think the league tournament's gonna come down to who plays the best basketball that night, and you know, a lot's going to come down to matchups, because every team's going to be trying to exploit what they do better than the other team, and someone's going to do it a little bit better that night, and it's certainly going to be a battle every single chance we get in this tournament.
It's going to be fun. We're excited to see what you guys can do and see how far you can make the run there. And then once the league tournament's over, Brad, we turn the calendar to districts, and as I said, second year in a row you've made it to districts. I'm assuming you guys want to go a little further than you did last year. I believe it was two and done. So you start off with New Oxford. Nobody really knows a whole lot about them, so just give us the overall feeling about starting off with New Oxford, but also how far potentially you guys feel you could go.
You know, of course we feel we could go all the way. It's just we got to make sure that we show up and play every night. You know, every game is really going to be a dogfight now. You know, it was even for the section, so now it really is going to be a dogfight, so we can't sleep on any team now.
Don't know a whole lot about New Oxford. What kind of mindset do you take into that game?
You know, I think just a lot about just worrying about us, you know, just making sure that we're confident in everything.
Okay, and you guys, it does seem like your confidence level is pretty high, so, and a lot of experience too on the team. That's got to help out as well. Sure. Back over to Coach Treese. You guys had a lot of goals starting the season. You know, Section 2 title, not able to get that. But so how do you reassess the goals now? Have you reset them? Have you talked about them? Where are we on the goals?
Well, you know, our approaches in our team meetings and our conversations were, when you don't reach a goal, there's a whole lot you can learn about yourselves and a team from not reaching your goals.
I like that.
You know, so when we started off with that tip-off tournament, weren't able to get our tip-off tournament title. Kids took that personally. I mean, they expected to win it. I expected to win it, and when we came up short, we got beat by a good Exeter team that outplayed us. So that taught us a whole lot about how do you refocus and not let that mistake happen again. So then our second chance was our Christmas tournament. These guys really wanted to win their Christmas tournament, especially the seniors. And they took care of business, especially defensively, and I think we really turned a corner defensively there. So now as we moved on through the whole season, we knew every single night in Section 2, we were either playing a very talented team or playing a team that really, really wanted to beat us, especially if it was on our home floor.
Right.
So that made us constantly be talking about how do you focus on the 32 minutes in front of you while knowing ultimately that's what's going to get us to our overarching goal. And these kids bought into it. I mean, every day in practice we talk about the next 32 minutes, and they always had it in their minds. If we get better each night in each practice, like Brad was saying, that one step forward every day we set foot in the gym, then when you get to February, it's all about, now we're here, now it's time to see what we can do with it. So I don't think our goals have changed. I would say now we feel much more comfortable in knowing what we need to do to reach those goals.
Okay, and you know, you guys, this program has now made the playoffs 2 years in a row. You know, Brad and some of his seniors will leave, but you have to continue on and build this program. After these seniors, this is a really good group of seniors. They've been through a lot, and there is some talent coming back. Where do you feel like the program is heading? Is there some momentum that you guys can take into next season?
Oh, there's a ton of momentum to carry on. First and foremost, I'm a big believer in alumni being involved.
Okay.
So I really hope some of these seniors reach out to our players as we go into next season, keep them positive, keep reminding them of the sort of things we did this year to maintain our success. And then looking forward, we have some really good things happening in our junior high program. We're trying to get that uniformity throughout the whole program that ultimately is going to make it that, you know, you don't have to worry so much about rebuilding. You're just reloading and figure out who fits those roles. We have a ton of size coming back, which is going to be a great thing. We're running a lot of size on our JV team. We have to replace a ton of guard play and a ton of minutes. But we, you know, they get to go against a really good team. You know, the guys coming back, they get to go against a really good basketball team every day in practice. And now they're getting extra practices and extra game planning time. that I think that the taste of that and guys that get to be on the bench and maybe get a chance to see the floor, that's how you keep this progress going every year. That's what good programs do.
Well said. And Brad, for you, this is it, man. This is your senior year. You're coming down to it. Last couple of games. This program has seen 3 coaches in 4 years. Where it has come from to where it is now, how does that make you feel and the seniors that are on this team?
It makes us feel really good. We have a lot of trust in Coach Treese, and we're glad that he got to be on this adventure with us for our last year, and it was just really good where we came from.
And your senior year, what are you and your teammates looking to prove? What do you have left?
We're just looking to show everybody what else we have and just show them, what kind of heart we have.
All right, well, Effort Amounts are in the postseason, and we are looking forward to a very nice long run that hopefully gets you into states. That would be something special, guys. Thanks for coming on the show, and obviously good luck the rest of the season.
Hey, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. All right, well, we do need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a lot about high school athletes' futures here. Yeah, signing day and all that going on, so we will chat about that here on Let's Talk coming up after this commercial break. All right, welcome back to Let's Talk. We've got a great guest joining me in the studio. It is Warwick football player Hayden Rucci. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, all right. So the week of signing day here for high school seniors, it's a pretty big time for them. Very important decisions for them. But as a junior, this just happened to work out perfectly having you on the show because you just this week made your decision. But we're not going to ruin that right now. But we will get to that in a minute. But I just want to kind of talk about that decision. What goes into that, and in general, how did it feel? Was it a lot of pressure trying to make that choice?
Yeah, I mean, my recruitment started almost a year ago on, I don't know how many days, but it's been a really crazy journey, and I was fortunate for everything and taking a lot of time to finally make this decision, and it feels awesome finally getting that stress off my shoulders.
I bet, yeah. It can be a lot of stress for a lot of those high school players. Earlier this week, you announced on social media a video that everybody can check out right now. Our city, you are Wisconsin.
Into the game. Our students are very unique.
5,000 plus lunatics.
Praise to thee, our alma mater. All right, so there you have it. You chose Wisconsin, which again, big decision. Why don't you tell everybody kind of how you made that decision? Why are they the best fit for you?
I mean, whenever I was on campus, it was just, I felt like it was home. The fans, coaches, other commits I've been talking with, they really welcomed me in and made Madison, like I said, feel like a home to me.
Yeah, tell us what position they were recruiting you for. What do they really want to get you out there for?
As I play in high school on offense, the tight end position.
What do they like about kind of how you play tight end and how you will fit into the team?
My dual threat ability is what a lot of schools have been looking at me as. I think that's what makes me unique is I'm a good pass catcher in the passing game and can make plays on my feet. And also I have a good blocking ability and like pancakes, so yeah.
Well, they always have a great running program up there, so I'm sure tight ends have to play a big role in that, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So you had a ton of colleges after you for, it sounds like, almost a year now. I believe you said to me earlier today, Michigan State was the first one that kind of was on the radar, and they were the first to offer.
Yep.
Do you remember how many in total college offers you had gotten?
Right now it's 19.
19,
Yep.
including Wisconsin. And how did you figure out how you were going to make the choice? Did you make a list? Was there like a top 5? How does that happen?
Yeah, all these visits I have a little notebook that I've been writing down a list of pros and cons, and it's just a lot of careful planning and just consideration, talking to coaches, building relationships, and visiting is what it really came down to, yeah.
Okay, and so I always watch all these guys in their recruitments. I'm really into it. I just love it. And they have like a list, and there's like a top 3 list or a top 5 list. Do you actually have like 5 schools that you had to pick from?
I never really had a top list because I wanted to give every college an even shot at me, and so I mean, it came down to Wisconsin, obviously, yeah. So
okay, so, and that's pretty far away, so you're gonna have to, you have quite a trip out there. What's it like as a young athlete to have all these colleges after you, trying to get you to commit? What is it? Because I never went through that process. A lot of us watching out here have never gone through that. What is that like? What does it feel like as a young guy? Because you're really only 16, 17 years old while you're doing this.
It's at times a lot of pressure, but in the end, I've been so grateful for everything and just very fortunate, and I'm really thankful for all the opportunities that I've been given.
So you said about 19 offers. How many visits did you make to college campuses?
Well, last year on the February 11th was my first visit to Michigan State, and I think I've been to around 6 games this year, and I didn't get a chance since it had been past season since I got my first offer last year. So I don't even know in the end how many visits it ended up being. Probably around 20 to 30 in there.
To campuses.
Right.
Okay. Is there like one or two cool experiences? Does anybody do anything interesting while you're there to kind of get you excited for their program that you could potentially share with us?
Yeah, so I think the coolest thing was probably experiencing College Game Day when I was at Wisconsin for the Wisconsin versus Michigan game. And with like the NCAA rules, you can't really like get super involved with it, but just being there and experiencing it was awesome.
Yeah, okay. So you went up there and actually saw a game while Wisconsin was in their season?
Yep.
Who'd they play?
They were playing Michigan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big game for them. All right. So here's an interesting one. We talked about all those teams that have offered. Your dad played for Penn State, but you never got an offer from Penn State, right?
Correct. Yep.
What exactly interested you about Penn State? Because they did recruit you. So, what did you like about Penn State when you were thinking about that?
Just the in-state. I can't find the word for it, but just the in-state Penn State is obviously
it's a big deal.
Yeah, before my recruitment started, I figured, that like Penn State is where I want to be at. And then I started Michigan State, and then all these other colleges I started going to really opened my view on universities and especially Big Ten schools, which is what I was really I like Big Ten schools. So seeing like Michigan State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all those other schools, really it was good to compare Penn State to those schools, but yeah.
Okay, so your dad didn't give you any flack for not picking Penn State?
No, my parents, both my parents are Penn State grads,
I know,
but
right?
they didn't push me to Penn State at all. So,
but it is in the Big Ten, so that's fine.
Yeah.
They can watch you on the Big Ten network. Senior year's coming up next year, so you still have some time to sit back and enjoy. What are you looking forward to with Warwick and everybody there?
Yeah, no, my decision here doesn't really go into effect till a year from now, so I still have a lot to prove my senior year, and just keep building my relationships with all my friends and coaches, and
We're looking forward to, Warwick was in the playoffs 2 years ago, just missed it this year. I'm assuming this year's crop of seniors is really trying to get into the playoffs
Absolutely.
again.
A bunch of seniors are leading this team. We're trying to get some young guys step up and hopefully get another playoff berth.
Cool. All right, well, thank you so much. That's going to wrap up our conversation, but you came on the show, really appreciate that, and congrats on the commitment. I know it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. But we're going to head off to another break. When we come back, more exciting conversations here on Let's Talk, so stay with us. We'll be right back. And we're back here on Let's Talk. It's a pretty important time for high school senior athletes. The first Wednesday of February is always National Signing Day, which brings with it a lot of excitement and electricity as teenagers decide the next chapters in their bright futures. One of the problems, though, holding it during the winter season in Pennsylvania is snow and weather conditions sometimes ruin a good plan, and that's exactly what happened this year. All festivities postponed on the special day, but we were able to catch up with Warwick's contingent of scholarship athletes, so hear what they had to say about moving on to the collegiate level to compete.
It's definitely going to be a challenge going into a whole new atmosphere, and I'm definitely going to have to work for everything that happens. So I'm really excited for a whole new challenge and to see what I can do pretty much.
It'll just be another step above. It'll be faster, it'll be more physical, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can do at that level.
There's some great competition in the Ivy Leagues especially. So, it's just a lot of hard work, stay motivated, stay focused, and, adding a lot of extra training, the weight training that goes along with college swimming and everything with that. All the practices, morning practices, afternoon. So it's just all the hard work that's going to push me up to that next level.
I try to give 100% anywhere, but I know it's that next level, so it's gonna take more. I don't know, I'm just excited to see what it brings.
I'm definitely actually preparing like right now to do like different workouts because that's gonna be different.
9 different student athletes from Warwick inking their future plans. Justin Byler is heading to the University of Delaware to play baseball. 2 of Bob Durr's field hockey players off to play at the next level. Adrian McGarrigle close to home at 2-time defending national champion Shippensburg. And Katie Pyle traveling a bit further to Division I Ohio State. Carter Forney, one of the most decorated receivers in Warwick history, off to East Stroudsburg in the PSAC. 4-year starter for the softball squad, Amanda Herr, will head to Philadelphia and St. Joseph's University. The Warwick swimming team very well represented. Lauren Ober to Duquesne University, Kate Uhlin to Westchester, and Joe Mole will swim at Dartmouth. And finally, 3-sport athlete Evan Clark has committed to Davidson College to continue wrestling. And as these top-level seniors end their high school careers, they will all look back fondly on their days as a Warwick Warrior.
Being a Warwick Warrior has brought me closer to my team, and the sportsmanship that we have as a team is just unreal. Like, it's amazing. And one of my favorite moments was probably, well, beating Township, of course.
I think it was last year when I hit the home run against Hempfield to win the game. It was just like a big breakthrough moment for me.
There's just experiences that I can't begin to imagine spending with any other guys and the coaching staff. And last year for us, as the 4 Horsemen, the juniors, we did really well at leagues and really well at sectionals, and I'm just looking to build on that this year.
I couldn't have asked for a better high school experience, and I just have loved my experience here, and it's been a lot of fun. All of us who've worked for it, and a lot of my friends are up here, so it's nice to see us all growing up together and setting us up to the next step, so it should be fun.
Warwick, one of just 5 local schools that held signing day festivities this month. And if you'd like to see our report on Ephrata, Cocalico, Manheim Central, and CV, head on over to our blog, news11sports.tv. Check out our stories on those senior athletes. But for now, that'll do it for another jam-packed episode of Let's Talk. Our next show at the end of February is going to be our last one of the winter season, so make sure you check it out. And as always, thanks to all of you for tuning in. I'm your host, Chad Landers, and I'm sure we'll have more to talk about next time.